Hello, welcome to this little video. My name is Katya if you do not know, and today we're going to be talking about my Mercury in Pisces. So my last video that I made about my Mercury in Pisces, it got a lot of views, a lot more than I expected, to be honest. And I was just basically talking about my personal experiences with living with my Mercury in Pisces and how it has positively and also negatively impacted my life. And today I would like to give you guys an update on how I am doing on my journey in my life at this point in time, as well as just like kind of like an update since I've made that last video. So let's get right into it. So in my last video, I spoke a lot about, how positively it has impacted me as far as communicating spiritually with people, giving advice, talking with individuals. And I feel like since that video, I've unlocked some like new powers or like new intuitions since that time of my life, because I have grown a lot. It's been like 2 years or something since I made that video. So the biggest thing that I would say that has changed or I have noticed is the fact that I can read people like instantly, to the point where like I know the vibe and I know what people to gravitate towards, give my energy, and who to stay away from and not to give them the time of day. So like for example, when you're walking around the supermarket or, at the store, even with masks, even with just looking at the people in their eyes, you can, for me, at least, if you have a Mercury in Pisces as well, I can read and know exactly what that person's intentions are. And a lot of, sometimes, I get really freaked out and I know to avoid those people or certain situations, or if I'm at a gathering with friends or family or anything and there's new people introduced, I know what people to stay away from to keep myself safe and who to talk to and have a great time with. So real life example here, I was at a bachelorette party with my friends and we were just at a park having a really cute girl tea party picnic, and these men came up to us and were like, oh, there's empty benches next to us, can we use some of the empty benches, and there was a barbecue, can we use the barbecue too? And us being sweet, we were like, yeah, sure, we're happy to share. And it was very strange because his mood was different than any person I had ever met. His aura, his energy was very different. And from far away, I could tell something was off from him. But, as the night progressed, the people, they got closer and closer and closer to us. And I saw in his eyes red. I can't explain, how it came to me, but I just saw, red. And I knew immediately that me and my friends, I gave them kind of a glance, a look to signal to them, I feel uncomfortable, I think we should leave. And when he saw that we were packing up to leave, he got very, very angry and don't leave, stay, hang out with us and stuff. And it was very 180 from the person that, was very nice and decided to come over to ask for a place to sit next to us, it was a complete shift. And I could tell just by looking at his eyes that there was not good in him. There was bad. And he was very mean to us at the very end when we were trying to pack up and leave because we were uncomfortable with the situation. He was trying to get us to stay, drink beers, hang out with us, have some barbecue with us. It was oh, too much. So, reading situations and knowing when is a good place to get yourself out of there, reading your intuition and knowing hey, do not trust these people. Hey, do not trust that person. Or on the opposite spectrum, going into a situation and instantly clicking and vibing with someone and having a good time and just knowing that they're there also to have a good time and just meshing so well with people that are willing to give off the same energy that you are and to give as much as you are giving. And I went to a bar with my guy friend, and his friends, and I was like the only girl in the group, but they were so like nice and inviting and welcoming, and they didn't exclude me, and I had such a great time. And then my girlfriends showed up, and we all meshed really well, and their good energy and our good energy mixed so well, and it's like being able to find those people that have good energies and mix really well. And another thing that I wanted to talk about was the fact that my communication since that last video has been a lot more concise and a lot more like exactly what I've been thinking. Because before in that last video, it was hard to put my thoughts into words. But I feel like the more and more that I've been going out, exploring, talking to new people, making new connections, the better it has and the easier it has been for me to verbalize my thoughts and to verbalize what's going on in here, because there's so much going on in here. And I said that in the last video too, like there's always so many thoughts and so many ideas going in and out of my brain, and things that I want to do, and I want to do this and I want to do that, and it's hard to like sit down and to just focus on one thing, and to focus on one thought, and to focus on one idea at a time, because I have so many things going on. I just want to blurt it all out, and it's hard because I'm like having 3 sentences come out at once, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's hard, but it's been getting a lot better, especially when it comes to like presenting my ideas to, my classmates, when it comes to like giving presentations to my colleagues and to my professors. So it's like my confidence has been elevated to be able to properly concise my ideas and to deliver what is actually intended. So some cons that I have noticed since that last video, when it comes to my Mercury and Pisces, is still being very nervous at first. Like that initial thought of wanting to do something, and then having that thought like, let's not do that. Let's just stay in our comfort zone, or let's not have that conversation because we're not used to that kind of feelings. Let's not talk about that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like things like that where my brain will just kind of stop the communication from happening. Like, nope, don't say that. When I'm like ready to like say something, and then my brain just goes, no, we're just not. And so I still find myself sometimes when I'm in awkward, uncomfy situations, telling myself in my brain, I still find myself like having to battle my own inner thoughts and my own inner like insecurities of how they're going to picture how their image of me will be altered once I say what I'm gonna say. You know what I'm saying? So deep breath. So saying a lot of filler words like or I don't know, or when I get asked in an uncomfy situation, just kind of staying quiet or not really knowing what to say back, or like not like my words just kind of go blank, which is very strange because when I'm very comfortable and it's a conversation that I'm wanting to have, like it's just nonstop, the words will come. But it's like the moment someone asks me something very off guard, something that I've never been asked for, something that is new, that I'm not used to talking about, my brain just kind of goes, what? What do I say? Like, I don't like, it's just, especially when it comes to talking and communicating my feelings, that's still such a very big thing for me, is not knowing how to properly express my feelings in a clear and concise way without like crying or like blurting out something stupid like that doesn't even make sense. So that's still a thing, and I think that's just having trauma from my childhood of being like emotionally abused by my mom, and just making me feel like my words were not valid. So my moon's in Capricorn, so I should have prefaced this. So my moon's in Capricorn, I have a sun Aquarius, my Mercury's in Pisces, I have a Venus in Pisces, and my rising sign is in Libra. So just to get an idea, my communication with my mom when I was very younger was very bad. It was not, there was never any like good talking points with my mom, and we never really got along. So I think that manifested in my life to being very uncomfy and talk when it comes to talking about my feelings with anyone, even still with my mom, like with anyone, with my significant other, with my dad. Like it's hard to like express myself, and I do a lot of like keeping things inside when I should be vocalizing my thoughts, and I should be vocalizing my feelings, because it's in the long run that'll benefit me. But I do a lot of like protecting of the other person, so a lot of times I won't say what I want to say because I'm afraid it'll hurt their feelings, or I'm afraid that it will hurt our relationship, or I'm afraid that, but it's like the fear I need to get over. It's the fear of not knowing the outcome of the situation that holds me back. Okay, we're good. So what else did I want to talk about? So I already talked about, kind of touched on that my comfortability has been like really good when it comes to communicating. When I'm comfortable, like my confidence comes out, and before, like it was very hard for me to get comfortable and to get, into a space where I was free to express myself, because like when I get introduced to new people, when I get introduced to new situations, when I'm by myself, it's super, like I am very good at navigating conversations. I have very good conversation. I have very good talking points, and I've been working a lot on my small talk and stuff, and so I feel like I have good conversation. But that's like very strange that it's when I'm by myself, like I'm in my most confident. But like when I'm with my significant other and he introduces me to new people, or when I'm with my mom and my dad and they're introducing me to new people, it's like they have very dominant energies. So when they introduce me to people, like they're the ones that are always talking and talking, talking. So it feels like it's hard for me to find like a base to start from, because like they're the ones that are acquainted with the people that they're talking about. So I never know how to like navigate and get into the conversation. And maybe that's in part of the people that they're introducing me into. Like they should be also engaging and asking me questions and getting to know me, rather than me being the one that's like new, trying to get myself into the conversation. You know what I'm saying? So maybe it's both sided. Maybe I'm the one that should be trying to get into the conversation, and maybe it's their fault. Maybe they're the ones that should be so it's like very hard for me to navigate. So I'm still working on that aspect. But when it comes to like me by myself, when I'm in the classroom with my professors or my Chico fucking classmates, oh my god, brain. When I'm with my classmates, talking, like I feel very confident and I feel like I know what I'm talking about. So like I never really get weirded out with new people, and I'm actually very, very open. So like if someone asks me something about like, personal or like how life experiences, especially because I'm a psych major, so I have to always be sharing, openly about myself and my past experiences. And so it's always reciprocated because they're also opening up and sharing too. Like I feel very comfortable, and I feel like I'm really good at navigating those situations and talking like a chatterbox. Like I'm usually the one in class that's the first to talk. I'm always the one that's first to raise my hand and the first to introduce myself in the class and to, let everyone know who I am, because I'm very confident in my person. And that's something that have never really been, and it's something that I have like grown into over the years. But it's just finding that balance of like, asserting myself in conversations when I'm with other people. So I think that's just something that I have to work on and keep putting myself in those situations, so that way I can keep trying different outcomes or trying different questions or trying different ways to like get myself into the conversation without feeling like uncomfy. So yeah. What else did I want to talk about? Oh, spiritually. Okay, so this is my favorite subject. I talked about this at the beginning of the video, where it's like very easy for me to like read people. So when it comes to like energies and reading people just by looking at their eyes, reading people just by being around someone, and knowing, like when you're going into a store, knowing the vibe, knowing that you're gonna be safe, it's like always I'm always like reading the energy around me, like. And I feel like I was taught this at a very young age. Like my dad is very intuitive as well, and so is my mom, and they are intuitive in the ways that, it's not spiritually, but it's like they taught me how to read things like physically, like to be able to analyze and see everyone very quickly and at a split second. And I feel like that also because I grew up in a traumatizing life experiences. It was very crazy. Like my childhood was not the best. I was abused as a child, so I was always walking on eggshells when I was around my mom and dad because they're very like on and off. Like they can be in a good mood and then 1 second later they're in a bad mood. And so I feel like at a very young age, I learned how to read my mom and dad and to know their energy. If my mom has that face, I know to not do that. If my dad has that face, like maybe not to try those buttons. And if he's smiling, oh, I can touch those buttons. But if my mom is smiling, then I know that I'm good and that I'm safe. And if my parents are on thin ice and they've been arguing, I know not to. So it's like that where I've had to learn to like navigate at a very young age. And I think growing up and having those powers, having that ability to read the room and to read how everyone's feeling it's very good. I feel like it's helped me a lot in situations, but it's also like I feel like that's what holds me back from saying a lot of things too, because like I know what things to talk about to get this certain reaction so that way this outcome happens, and so that way ultimately this is what I want from the conversation, so it's like it's a good thing but it's also a bad thing because I want to say more, but it's like my brain kind of holds me back from saying some things because I don't know how to navigate or I don't know how the energy is. And so like even when I'm going out into public, like I know I can I'm very like I can look across and scan and see what people not to go towards, see what people like, where do I want to stand in the room, like where do I want to, like if I'm ordering at Starbucks, and the room is full, like where do I sit so that way I'm safest, like so I sit across in the back corner so that way I'm able to analyze the situation. So if anyone comes in, like I know that I can get myself out of the situation really quick, and like I know how to navigate, and I always have like an exit route of like where to go if anything ever goes south. So it's like my brain has always worked like that, and it was because I was taught that way at a very young age by my dad, because my dad is very much that way too. Like he's very good at reading energies, even though socially he's not very good, like as far as like reading like a person and how they're feeling, he's not very good at that, but he's good at like energy reading and the whole entire room, like, and that's what I was taught from my dad. Is like, especially when he's driving too, like when he's driving, he knows where every car is in the road, and he's always like looking around and seeing what's going on and to keep us safe, so I learned that from my dad. And my mom is very, very good at reading vibes from people, and I learned that from my mom. So I kind of like took both of my mom and dad's superpowers and just kind of like combined it into like I'm just good at both now, I guess, because that's just how I was raised. So it's like it's a good thing, but it's like it kind of sucks as well. Like so I just got a new phone, and sometimes the phone calls and stuff gets dropped when I'm recording, and it doesn't do it all the time, which is weird. So it's cool that it's still recording, so now I can still just keep talking. But like I was saying, it's a good thing that I have these powers, because I feel like when I'm in a situation, I know how to keep myself safe. I know what things are good for me in the moment, and I know what things are not good for me. But I feel like it does hold me back from like trying new things, because it's like I never know what waters to test, because like I could get a weird vibe from someone and maybe they're just having an off day, and like maybe the reason that they have such a bad aura is because they experienced something that hurt them or something that was traumatic for them. And a conversation with me, who has such a very high good energy, if I was to talk to someone like that, maybe I could raise their energy from low to high, but it's like I keep myself from those situations because it's like a defense mechanism. I don't want to get hurt. So the potential of like having a conversation with someone that has like an icky face, is like I don't want to talk to someone who's frowning and has a mean face, It's like even maybe that's just their resting face, So it's like one of those things that's like it's a good thing and it's a bad thing, because there's situations that I'm holding myself back from past experiences, you know what I'm saying? So they're just trauma responses that are just keeping me from probably good conversations with people that were having bad days that I could help bring good to them, you know? So it's like, I don't know. Uh, it's a good thing and it's a bad thing that I have this, and I understand that, and the fact that I have the ability to see both sides of it is a good thing, and it just lets me know that I'm conscious of like the situations. And you know, as a psych major, that's great, because like when you're able to analyze your patterns, then you're further able to work on them and to stop them from happening in the future. And but it's like when you have that voice inside your head that's like, let's just keep doing the same thing that we've been doing because it's kept us safe and it's kept us comfortable all these years. Like, let's just keep doing that. It's like, okay, sure. You're keeping me safe? Sure. So it's like, it's good to be safe, but it's good to also venture out and to try new things, have different conversations, have new experiences with different people that you would never talk to ever, you know? So it's like, bleh. So I think I'm gonna end the video here. Thanks for watching this far. I think I want to start making this kind of like a series or like an update of like how I'm doing, because you know, all of my aspects, I told you I was a sun in Aquarius, my moon's in Capricorn, Mercury, and also Venus in Pisces, as well as having a rising sign in Libra. So, you know, these signs are all, you know, coexisting, but I feel like my dominant ruler is my Pisces. And, you know, that's just how I am. I love expressing myself, and I love talking, and I love verbalizing and giving my opinions. And that's why I'm a psych major, because I love hearing what people have to say, giving them my honest and brutal opinion, you know, and giving them a different perspective. And that's like my favorite thing to do. And I feel like my Mercury in Pisces gives me the ability to give different perspectives that I've never, you know, that other people maybe have never heard before, given them a different light or a different outlet that they've never experienced before. So I love my Mercury in Pisces, and so I feel like maybe I'll start making this a series and talking more about different aspects and things that I've realized about myself since, you know, I first got into my astrology journey. And, you know, I'm not like that big into it anymore. I was very hardcore, and I was reading people and giving people tarot card readings and giving, you know, chart readings to people. And I kind of stepped away from that because I realized that it's an exchange of energy when you're talking to people, and sometimes their intentions aren't there. Sometimes it's like, so it's like maybe it's just me protecting myself. But I want to start, you know, giving my opinions, because that's going to be what I'm going to do for a living anyway, is to give my opinions and to hear others' perspectives. And I love that my last video did so well, and that people feel comfortable enough to give me their opinions and to give me different examples as well, because I see myself so much in the people that have Mercury and Pisces. Because like, I feel like we're so misunderstood, and people never know how to navigate and talk to us. And so when we have conversations with people that also have Mercury and Pisces, like, I feel like we connect on a different level where, you know, we're able to see past the communicate, like we're able to see into each other and to see into our experiences than just the surface, you know, like than just what I'm saying. Like there's more depth to the words that I'm saying, and I feel like people at Mercury and Pisces, like they can navigate and know exactly, and like be able to know exactly what I'm saying, whereas someone who had like a Mercury in Aries, they take things very like face level and very like literal. Whereas on the opposite side of the spectrum, you know, on the opposite side of the wheel, like a Mercury in Pisces, like it's very, you know, you have to like read between the lines with us. Like you have to like see deeper than just the surface with us. And I love reading the comments in my last video, because there's so many people out there that are so misunderstood. Like it's hard for people to know what's going on with us. And, you know, it's not our fault. It's just hard for us to like to communicate our millions of thoughts that are going into our heads. So it's like, I love being able to communicate with you guys. So maybe I'll start making this a series and talking more about different experiences that I've experienced as far as my Mercury and Pisces goes. So thank you so much for watching this far into the video, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day or night out there, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Bye. Oh, I've been why am I like this? I've been trying to be consistent about uploading, so if you want to like stick around and hang out with me, you can subscribe, and yeah, thanks. I'm so bad at this. Anyway, thanks for watching. Have a good one. Bye.